they were over the salary cap. And they took players that were, that were going to take less money. And that makes sense to me, I don't think it's unreasonable at all. I think they did get depth. I understand the criticisms that everyone's kind of old and out of their prime, but LeBron, he's not the best player anymore. But he still is a top 5 player, absolutely. AD is still when he's healthy, which is kind of a moot point because AD is basically never healthy, but if he can stay healthy this season, AD is 1,000,000% a top 10 player. And it's not like old teams haven't won before. The Lakers, I believe, are the second oldest. They're the oldest team ever, right? Or are they? I don't know. They're the oldest team in the NBA, at least. But the oldest team to ever win a championship is the '98 Bulls, who had a weighted age of 32. Now, this team kind of reminds me of the Lakers. Jordan was 35 in '98. LeBron is turning 36. So their best player is 35, 36, definitely on the older end, headed into the end of their career. And Jordan won MVP that year, I believe. But anyway, their oldest player was Dennis Rodman at 37. Who's the Lakers' oldest player? The Lakers' oldest player, I believe, it's Melo, right? Let's see this. Yeah, Carmelo was the oldest at 37. And Dennis Rodman was the oldest at 37. There's some comparisons to the '98 Bulls to be made. Because think about this. You had Pippen, although Pippen was out for the first 3 months. But you had Pippen, Jordan, and an old Dennis Rodman. The Lakers, basically what they had, Pippen, who was kind of starting to head into the back end of his career, same way Westbrook is right now. And, then you have your best player, LeBron and Jordan, who are both not in their primes anymore, but still probably top 3 players on the planet right now. And then you have a guy like Melo or Dennis Rodman, who aren't the best talent-wise, but they, Melo can shoot from 3. He shot 41% last year. And Rodman's a great defender, great rebounder. They're similar to the '98 Bulls, but doesn't mean they're going to win a ring. So we'll see what happens there. But I don't think the old players are going to really affect them that much, because I think they only have one injury-prone player, and that's Anthony Davis. I think everyone else has done a pretty good job staying healthy their entire career. Like Melo, he's not injury prone. Westbrook's not injury prone. That's why I don't mind this team, because not a lot of the players are injury prone, except for AD. Wilson. So Zach Wilson had a joint practice with the Packers and Aaron Rodgers today, and I'm not down on Zach Wilson. I'm not down on any quarterback yet, I'm not down on any quarterback until I see them. I was criticizing Mac Jones based on what history has shown, and that has shown that there haven't been good quarterbacks since Joe Namath that came out of Alabama. All Alabama quarterbacks flop. Tua still has a shot, and Jalen Hurts still have a shot. But, can you name the last, Alabama quarterback that hit? I can't either. Let's look at this. I'm literally looking up right now Alabama NFL quarterbacks. Their quarterback history is not very good since Joe Namath. Let's see this. Okay, Mac Jones still has a shot. Tua, Jalen Hurts. Okay, they still have a shot. 2016, Blake Barnett. Where is Blake Barnett even? Cooper Bateman in 2015. Jake Coker in 2015. Blake Sims in 2014. AJ McCarron I have heard of, but he has not done too well. Greg McElroy, John Wilson, Brody Croyle, Spencer Pennington, Tyler Watts. I haven't even heard of these guys. I don't even know who these guys are. These are... I'm not seeing these guys hit. But that's why I was down on Mac Jones. But I haven't been down on any other quarterback because, Fields I could have been down on. I was more focused on Mac Jones. But, Ohio State hasn't had much quarterback success either. But Justin Fields, the reason I'm starting to be high on him is because he's on the Bears. I think that's a good landing spot. With Zach Wilson, it's weird. I think he has talent. It's probably going to take a while for Zach Wilson to have success, winning wise in the NFL. Considering he, there's still, hope for him, obviously. Like I said, he drew Aaron Rodgers comparisons. And I can see Aaron Rodgers in him. Rodgers is a shorter quarterback as well. Both Rodgers and Wilson. Shorter quarterbacks than you would expect. And they both have big arms, So, the problem with me, with Zach Wilson, is the team he is on. The team you land on is huge. That's why Joe Burrow, despite the fact that he showed talent, he didn't have a winning record this year. That's why Patrick Mahomes had success so early. Because he fell to Andy Reid. That's why I think Justin Fields is going to have success, because he fell to, the Bears. And Trey Lance got lucky with the Niners, That's why I think they're going to have success, because they're on the right team. I think Wilson will eventually have success, but I don't know in the next 3 years he will. The reason I think they're eventually, I'm going to use the word eventually a lot in this segment, eventually going to be better than the Patriots, because the Patriots and Jets are the opposite. The Patriots are signing a lot of veterans, and they have a veteran head coach who has been to more Super Bowls than any other coach. The Jets have a rookie head coach with a bunch of rookies. So, they're the complete opposite. I got the Pats finishing third, and the Jets finishing fourth, but that doesn't mean I don't think they're eventually going to have success, but I think the Jets, Bears, and Lions aren't places you normally want to end up as a quarterback. And And I could be dead wrong on Justin Fields with the Bears just because of their history with quarterbacks, but the Jets, Bears, and Lions, in the last 25 years, they drafted 25 in the last 25 years, they drafted 10 quarterbacks, my bad. And look at the Packers. Last 25 years, 2 quarterbacks drafted. Or 3, my bad. They've drafted 3. No, it is 2. Rodgers and Jordan Love. Yeah. They've drafted 2 quarterbacks in the last 3 years. Or 25 years, my bad. That is a big difference from the Jets, Bears, and Lions. And they only have 3 division titles in that 25-year span. That's what I'm worried about Zach Wilson. Not his talent or his ceiling. I'm worried about, his team, his situation. That's what I'm worried about. All right. So Draymond blames the Warriors, or no, he blames the Warriors front office for the split with Durant. Draymond and Durant were kind of talking yesterday. And, it's really tough to have success. Like, I think this is why LeBron, when he went to the Heat, he picked D. Wade and Bosh specifically, because he was friends with them. He knew he had good chemistry with them, and he knew that would work. It's 3 best friends, 3 different positions, so it's all spread out, basically. You got a spot-up shooter at, power forward. You got LeBron at small forward. And you have, or I think he played power forward at that time, yeah. So you got a spot-up shooter at center. A do-it-all power forward with LeBron James. And then you have D-Wade at shooting guard. It's a pretty spread apart, team. Pretty well-balanced team. LeBron could have teamed up at that time with, he literally could have gone with Kobe and sided with him because Kobe was the best player in the league at that time. But I think he knew Kobe is going to keep the ball to himself because that's his style of play. Nothing wrong with that. And, LeBron, at that point in his career, was not a passer he was today. So he knew that wouldn't work out. But he knew D-Wade and Bosh would. So, you really have to do your research here on, what's going to work out. You can't just... I think the Nets were a lot better than I expected. I thought it would not work out at first, but I still have concerns with them. Because the big 3 was only together for 8 games last year. So it's not really... the Nets bench was a lot better than I expected as well. But the Nets big 3 was only together 8 games last year. I'm a little... that's the one concern I always have when you, stack up your players. Because the balance and the chemistry might not be there. When you put... I think it worked with Steph because he's... he's not like Kyrie and Harden, where, Steph can pass the ball. He's actually an underrated passer. When Steph has teammates with him, he can pass. When he had KD, people were all saying KD's better. And KD's a better player doesn't mean he's a better leader. I think Steph was still the leader on that team. But, it worked with Steph because he is a patient leader. He's not like Harden or Kyrie, who were just looking to win and score points, I think that's why I worked with Steph, but that's what I worry about with the Nets. Kyrie's unpredictable. Harden, because I think, the problem with Harden doesn't have a problem. He can score still as well as pass. He started passing last year, which was why it worked out. The problem with all 3 of these guys is because they've all had problems with teammates. Harden had trouble with CP3. KD had problem with Draymond and Westbrook. And